Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Easy Way Car Club. As you know, my name is Curtis, and today we are reviewing another car. It's bright orange, it's eye-catching, and it's the Renault Megane RS. Orange Tonic is the name of this colour, and this RS is not the standard RS or RS Cup. It is the RS Trophy. You can actually see it written right there on the front. So before we have a drive of this car and have a look inside, obviously it looks great to have a look at. A couple of quick specs about the car. It's a 1.8 litre 4-cylinder turbo. It's a front wheel drive car. The Trophy has been tuned up slightly more than the regular RS variant, and it's pushing out about 221 kilowatts if performance numbers are something you're looking at. Come around to the side here, and the RS Trophy also has these 19-inch alloy wheels with some red accents in them that kind of tie in with the red Brembos. I'll let you be the judge if that's the kind of look that you like. So Renault Megane RS Trophy, let's jump inside and have a look. So we've jumped inside the Megane, and initial thoughts are pretty good. You can see, first thing I'll touch on here is the sports bucket seats. They're Alcantara finish, which is really nice. They're soft and they're not overly restrictive as well. If I'm going to use a couple of the other Hothatches that I've driven, particularly my car, those bucket seats are very restrictive. So these ones, a little bit more comfort, which is nice. Swing around to the front here, we've got our center dash. Interesting look. There's very minimal buttons, and everything's right here on this touch screen with a couple of buttons on or touch buttons on the side. So you've got your map and your radio kind of make up your home screen, and then you can slide across as well to some of the other screens, or you can just sit there on the clock. So really nice sports steering wheel as well, with leather and a bit of Alcantara finish on that one as well. So the interior is really nice, and it gives you that Hothatch feel. So something that I personally love, and many other people out there do with hot hatchbacks, is their mix of performance and practicality. So cars like this, very aggressive body kits. If you have a look as well, really aggressive rear diffuser down there, good performance, but they're also practical. And this Megane, I think, took a step further than their previous generations. They used to be a 3-door kind of coupe version, but the latest generation Megane is full 5 doors, probably to tie more in line with its competition. And if we have a look at the boot, it is quite spacious. It's deep. Part of the reason for that is there is no spare tyre. It is a tyre repair kit, but other than that, it's a deep boot. You can put the back seats down for even more room, and the practicality of this car takes a step up to match its performance. So we can look at a car long enough, and this certainly is a beautiful car to look at. But now it's the important test. Let's give the RS a drive. So we've got the start button on the left side of the steering wheel. Oh. Okay. So we've started it up. We're going to have a flick through a couple of the settings as we go on the drive, but let's let's take it for a spin and see what we think. So as we get started, one of the things that we want to mention about this particular Megane Trophy is it is available right now at Bourke Renault in Berwick, Victoria. So if you are Victorian, obviously we are starting to get excited with some restrictions loosening and dealerships open again, and there's really limited stock on these RS Trophies. So if you have been thinking about getting one, now is a really good time. So we've got this Megane in a 6-speed automatic transmission. A previous generation Megane weren't available in automatic, they were purely manual. So a couple of changes in this generation Megane. As we said, we talked about the 5-door exterior, but also now with an automatic option, just makes the car a little bit more practical. So in terms of what the Megane RS competes against, obviously the hot hatches that come to mind are you got the Volkswagen Golf, the GTI and the R models. The R variant could be a step up, but it competes more closely with this variant here, the Trophy. And so you've got the Golf GTI as well. You've got the new generation Ford Focus ST. You've got the Honda Civic Type R. And then you go into as well, you've also got the Hyundais now, so the i30Ns. And then you go into the European, the well-known Europeans with Mercedes and Audi and BMW. So a couple of weeks ago we did review the Mercedes A35 AMG. So if you want to check that out as well, we'll put a link to that video. Okay, so we've pulled over and we're going to go back into the RS Drive. So we hit that button and that brings up all the different options. You've got comfort, neutral, sport, race and personal or personalised. So we'll hit that. And then if we hit this menu here, current mode configuration, we've got all the options that we can set based on how we want to drive. So dynamic driving system, neutral, sport, race. Let's have some fun and put that in race. Electronic stability control, let's leave that in neutral. Exhaust sound. So when we set the drive to race, it changed the exhaust to race, so let's leave that as well. Engine sound design, so let's turn that to neutral because that's the interior engine sound that we don't really want a whole lot of. And there's also an ambient lighting setting. So if all along the sides here, there's a little bit of ambient lighting that we can set the color. So we've got red and the intensity. So if you've seen the A35 AMG review that we did, you'll remember that there's lots of ambient lighting running down the sides of the doors, along the front of the dash. So the Megane has a little bit, not quite as much, but it's also customizable, which is pretty cool. It's not I would never call it a necessity, but it's yeah, it is something kind of cool to have a play around with. All right, so we've set that. We'll go back to the home. All right, and let's pull out again and see how we go with these settings. Oh, immediately I can hear the exhaust sound that we did set to race, and there's a much deeper note to that. That's really nice. So before we pull out and give these new settings a run, safety as well is something we'll mention, and this does have 6 airbags. In terms of technology as well, there's a 10-speaker Bose sound system, which we haven't tested too much. I must admit I've been a little bit more preoccupied with the sound of the car. But we might have a look at the radio and the sound system a little bit later. Probably the confidence you need if you're going to have a little bit of fun in this car. There is a little bit of, whether it's lag, but it is a little bit sluggish to get going. The gear changes though are smooth. There's no issue there. It doesn't feel like you're going as fast as you are, but that's a good thing or a bad thing. Everyone's got their own preference. But in terms of the performance, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So we hope you've enjoyed our review of the Renault Megane RS Trophy today. As we said, big thanks to Bourke Renault in Berwick for loaning us this one for the day. It is currently available now, and there is also limited stock on the RS Trophy. So if you're interested in this car, make sure you get in touch with them and yeah, grab yourself a really impressive little car. Make sure you give this video a like if you have enjoyed it, and subscribe to Easy Way Car Club to keep up with all of our car reviews to come. Thanks for watching.